Kristin Cavallari says she never shot her shot. With Yellowstone's Kevin Costner couldn't be further from the truth. Kristin Cavallari is calling out headlines that involve her name. On the most recent episode of the Let's Be Honest podcast, Cavallari clarifies headlines involving her name. Given that Cavallari is the ex-wife of NFL star Jay Cutler and a reality TV star, having appeared on Laguna Beach and Very Cavallari, she is no stranger to the press. However, as of late, Cavallari has been in the headlines a lot. She recently shared that she was dating the former NHL player Nate Thompson and that she had hooked up with Morgan Wallen. But prior to those two moments, she was making a lot of headlines while dating Montana Boys member Mark Estes, who was significantly younger than Cavallari. During this recent podcast episode titled, "Shooting My Shot with Kevin Costner," Cavallari breaks down many headlines about her that are not true, shot that she can't ever win in the eyes of the press. She said this after talking about a story in which the headline read, "She was standing on the bar top and pouring shots down men's throats." Later in the episode, she cleared up one headline that rubbed her the wrong way, which involved her shooting her shot at Kevin Costner. At the end of last year, Cavallari did a question and answer session on Instagram where a fan asked her if she could date Kevin Costner. Cavallari replied to that question with the following. After celebrity news sites saw this post, many wrote about the moment, including E! And The Cut. While I don't think any of them took her cheeky story reply as her actually shooting her shot with a Yellowstone actor, it was a great way to draw readers in. And if I were Cavallari and that headline ended with me going on a date with Costner, I'd be over the moon. However, Cavallari expressed in her podcast episode that this moment frustrated her. Cavallari first addressed that Costner is that guy, but her saying "forever crush" was more her denoting that he is one of the all-time greats, not that she has an active crush on him. She then goes on to say how annoyed she was that it was picked up as a headline. And what do you know? The next day there were 1,000 headlines about how I was shooting my shot with Kevin Costner, which couldn't be further from the truth. She then said that after that moment, she felt like her true fans were starting to see the image the media paints about her, which is not always the most positive. Imagine you don't follow me. You just see me in the headlines. I'm shooting my shot with Kevin Costner, but oh, I'm dating all of these athletes. I'm dancing on the bar, pouring shots. I'm talking about having another baby. I'm coming for Morgan Wallen. I'm criticizing people who don't like my makeup routine. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous, you guys. While I understand that it's frustrating when your words are spun into a story that might not reflect your intention, I think, unfortunately, that's part of being a celebrity. Cavallari very much lives her life in the public eye, sharing details about her dating life and more on her podcast, creating a show surrounding her podcast tour, and just about her past. Given how long that Cavallari has been in the game, I'm surprised that she still gets so bothered by things like this. Gossip columns are gossip columns, of course. They will try to spin a story about you if it gets clicks. And let's be honest, out of all the headlines that Cavallari brings up in this podcast episode, this one seems like the least harmful. I wouldn't blame a girl if there were some seriousness behind her saying to give Kevin Costner her number. That man has aged like fine wine, and I'd rather be writing about that age gap relationship versus her previous one with the F***K boy Mark Estes. Would be a notable improvement for her dating life times a million. If you want to hear the scoop on Costner, which unfolds around the 35-minute mark,